Hey everyone, my name is Anne and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be crocheting this really pretty cardigan. I will be making a small in this video, but there also include sizes X small to 3X large in this tutorial, as well as the written pattern that I have linked down below. But here are the supplies you'll be needing. So I first have my category 4 yarn, and this is my 6.5mm hook. To begin this pattern, we're going to be working on the back panel first. So I'm going to first make a slip knot. You can do this any way you would like. After you have made this slip knot, we're going to make a chain of 85. But because this pattern, or because this video contains sizes X small to 3X large, the amount of chains you'll be making for each size is going to be indicated right on the side over here. But since I am making a size small, I'm going to make a total of 85 chains. So to make a chain, you simply want to yarn over and pull through. Again, just simply yarn over and pull through until you have a total of 85. So I have made it back here with my chain of 85. Now that we have our chain, we're going to begin on row 1. So to begin row 1, we're going to skip the first and second chains. Inserting our hook into this third chain, we're going to work a double crochet. To work a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Doing this again, yarn over, insert your hook into that next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you just want to work these double crochets into each chain all the way across. So I have just finished working all the way down my row with these double crochets, as you can see. Now to finish up row 1, you just want to chain 2 and then turn your work around. That chain 2 never counts as a stitch for the rest of the pattern. So moving on to our repeat row, which is row 2. Into this very first stitch, we're going to work a front post double crochet. To work a front post double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook right behind this very first post, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now into the next stitch, we're going to work a back post double crochet, which is very similar. You want to yarn over, insert your hook all the way around and into the back of the post, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next stitch, work a front post double crochet. Again, to do that, you just want to yarn over, insert into the front of the post, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next stitch, work a back post double crochet, yarn over, all the way in the back of the post, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So now to continue this pattern, you want to repeat alternating your back post and your front post double crochets into each stitch all the way down your row. So I'm going to work all the way down my row, and then I'm going to see you guys back once I have reached the end. So I have just finished working all the way down my row here, alternating those front and back post double crochets, and this is what my row is looking like so far. Once you reach the end, go ahead, chain 2, and turn your work around. Once again, that chain 2 never counts as a stitch. So to continue the pattern for our back panel, you want to repeat this row, which is row 2 with these back and front post double crochets, until you have a total of 39 rows. But once again, since this video contains sizes X small to 3X large, the amount of rows you want to make for each size is going to be indicated right on the side over here. But since I am making a size small in this video, I'm going to make a total of 39 rows. So I'm going to work up my 39 rows, and then I'm going to see you guys back for the next steps. Okay guys, I am back here with my back panel. I have 39 rows in total, and I repeated row 2 with these back and front post double crochets. This is what my entire back panel is looking like so far. And once I reached the end, I did cut and fasten off to secure the end. Now that our back panel is all done, we're going to set the back panel aside, and we're going to go ahead and get started on the front panel. So yeah, let's move on with those steps. So now we're going to begin on our front panel, and I have actually already completed the front panel, but basically what I did here is that I repeated all of the instructions for the back panel until row 14, and I did that 2 times. So I have 14 rows over here and 14 rows over here. But basically all I did was just chain up 85 as we did before, double crochet row, and then that second row is going to be alternating your front and back post double crochets. But that is all we're going to be doing for our front panels. It is super easy. And now that we have our back panel and our 2 front panel sides, all we're going to do from here is start seaming up our bodices together. So now let's go ahead and move on with the seaming. So now we're going to be seaming the bodices together, our front and back panels. So I have placed our front and back panels on top of each other, and I have made sure that the wrong side is facing me. So now to seam this all together, what we're going to do is really simple. We're going to whip stitch the 2 shoulder straps together. So just starting into this very top corner, we're going to whip stitch all the way across here until the end. Doing that on the opposite side as well, just beginning to this very top corner. Whip stitch all the way along until the end. Now moving on to the sides of our work. Beginning into this very bottom corner, we're going to be whip stitching all the way up this side until we have 6.5 inches from the top remaining. And this 6.5 inches from the top is going to leave room for our sleeves. But I'm just going to show you how to whip stitch. So I'm first just going to start on the sides. So I'm just going to insert my hook into this very first stitch and then into the next stitch as well. Pull straight through. Coming back around, inserting my hook into the next 2 stitches, and then just pull through once again. Coming back around again, inserting my tapestry needle right into these 2 stitches, pull through, back around, insert your hook, pull through. And now again, you just want to whip stitch just as I am doing here all the way down the side until you have 6.5 inches from the top remaining. So I'm going to work both of the sides and my shoulder straps, and then I'm going to meet you guys back once I am all done. So I have now made it back here with all of my work seamed up. I did both of the shoulder straps going across here and here. Then I also did the sides as well. So I have 6.5 inches gap for our sleeves on both sides, just like this. And now that we are all done with the seaming of our bodice, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the sleeves over here. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So now we're going to be working on the sleeves. I have my yarn and the hook that I was using before. I'm going to make a slip knot just like this. And then I'm just going to insert my hook right into the seam of our armhole. So just right here, I'm going to insert and then slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through everything just like this. From here, to begin the foundation row, we're going to make a chain of 2. So 1, 2. And now into each row all the way around the sleeve, or into each stitch around the sleeve, we're going to be working a foundation row of double crochets. To work a double crochet is the same thing as before. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 2 and pull through 2. And then just work these double crochets into each stitch all the way around your armhole until the end. So I am back here and I have just finished working these double crochets all the way around my armhole. And now that I have reached the end, we're just going to slip stitch into this very first stitch to join, chain 2, and turn your work around. So now moving on to row 1, it's just going to be the same thing that we were doing last time. Into this very first stitch, we're going to work a front post double crochet. Then into the next stitch, work a back post double crochet. Then a front post double crochet into the next stitch. Then a back post double crochet. And now just repeat alternating your front and back post double crochets into each stitch all the way around. So as you can see, I have just finished working that round 1 coming all the way around my armhole. And once you have made it to the end, you want to do the same thing that we did for the foundation row, which is the slip stitching into this first stitch to join, chain 2, turn your work around. But to continue this pattern, you want to repeat round 1 with these, alternating these front and back post double crochets until you have a total of 32 rows. But once again, since this video contains sizes X small to 3X large, the amount of rows that you'll be making for each size is going to be indicated right on the side over here. But I'm going to finish up working my 32 rows and then I'm going to see you guys back for the next steps. So now this is what my work is looking like after I have finished my 32 rows. That you can make this sleeve however long you would like. Now that we are done with our sleeve, we're actually not going to cut and fasten off just yet. We're going to move directly to working the cuff from here. So now let's just go ahead and get started on that. So now we're going to be moving on to the cuff, and this is really simple. We're going to begin by making a chain of 9. And so once you have made your chain of 9, for row 1, we're going to skip this first chain and then insert our hook into the second chain. We're simply going to slip stitch into each of these chains. To slip stitch, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through everything. Again, all you want to do is just insert your hook into that next chain and then just pull through everything. And now just slip stitch into each across. So once you have finished these slip stitches coming all the way down, to connect this row to the side, we're going to be slip stitching up 2 on like the side stitches over here. So into this first side stitch, I'm going to insert my hook. That's the first slip stitch. And then into the next side stitch as well, slip stitch. And these 2 slip stitches are only going to connect the row. They do not count as our first stitches. So I'm going to turn my work around. Now moving on to row 2, into this very first stitch, we're going to back bar our back loop slip stitch into each of these stitches across until 1 stitch remains. To back bar slip stitch, insert your hook right into this first stitch, except only going into this back bar, and then yarn over, pull through. Again, inserting your hook only into this back bar and pull through those 2 loops. Only into this back bar, pull through 2. And then just keep on working this all the way down your row. And once you have worked these back bar slip stitches into each stitch across, into this very last stitch, we're actually going to work 1 regular slip stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook into both of these loops instead of that 1 loop, just like this. And then yarn over, pull through. From here, chain 1, turn your work around. Moving on to row 3, skipping our first turning chain and inserting our hook into this first stitch, we're going to back bar slip stitch into each stitch across until the end. Once you have back bar slip stitched into each of these stitches, doing the same thing that we did for the first row, we're going to slip stitch up 2 on the side to connect. So into this very first side stitch, insert, pull through, into the next side stitch, insert, pull through, and then turn your work around. So now to continue the cuff, you want to repeat alternating row 2 and row 3 with these back bar slip stitches into each stitch all the way around your sleeve. So basically you should be slip stitching up 2 on the side, and that's going to work all the way around here. But I'm just going to go ahead, work up all of my cuff, and then I'm going to see you guys back when I'm all done. So I have made it back here, guys, and I have worked all the way around my sleeve, alternating row 2 and row 3, and this is what my cuff is looking like so far. And now of course we do need to seam up these 2 sides over here. So what I'm going to do is that I'll just cut and fasten off as you normally would. And then using that tapestry needle, I'm going to whip stitch all the way down. It's only going to be a few inches long, and then just weave that through my work. So I'm going to finish seaming this up, and then I'm going to see you guys back, and then that'll be the end for our sleeve. So I am all done seaming up my cuff. This is what it now looks like so far. And these back bar slip stitches are quite stretchy, and I really love the design of it. And of course, once you have one side done, you want to repeat all steps for the sleeve and the cuff on the opposite side as well, which I have already completed over here. And then once you have both sides of your work complete, you have both of the sleeves. We're now going to move on to working the border that comes up and around in the front. So let's get started on that. So now we're going to be working on the bottom border. So this is what my work is looking like. And I'm going to first make a slip knot with my yarn and hook, just like this. Now you want to insert your hook into the very bottom corner. So I'm going to do that over here. And then slip stitch to secure, yarn over, pull through everything. Now working a foundation row first, we're going to chain 1. And into this first row, we will work single crochets into each row all the way around until you have reached the opposite corner over here. So to show you what that would look like, into this very first row, I'm going to single crochet, into the next row, single crochet, then into this next row right here, single crochet. Now again, just work these single crochets all the way around until you reach the opposite corner. So I have just finished working that foundation row of single crochets, coming all the way around until I met up with the opposite corner. And now that we have our foundation row done, you just want to repeat all the steps that we did for the cuff. So just chaining 9, doing those back bar slip stitches or back loop slip stitches. Repeat row 2 and row 3. There is nothing different here at all once you work that foundation row. Repeat all steps for the cuff. Since I've already showed this on camera, I'm not going to show it again. I'm just going to work out this bottom border, and then I'm going to see you guys back when I am all done. So I have just finished working up my bottom border, repeating row 2 and row 3 with those back bar slip stitches, and now this is what it is looking like. Now that we have our bottom border all complete, you do want to repeat the same steps that we did for the bottom border and then do that for the front edge. So basically all you want to do for the front edge is just insert your hook into this corner. Work that foundation row of single crochets coming up and over. Once you have met the opposite corner, then you can just do that regular border that we were doing before. But it is all going to be the same thing that we did for the bottom border for the front border. So I'm just going to quickly work that up, and then I'm going to meet you guys back for our finished cardigan. So I am now back here with my front border all worked up. As you can see, I started in the very bottom corner and then I went all the way up and around to the last corner over here. And now that you have your front border all done, that is basically the last step to your project. The last thing you would need to do is just weave in all of your loose ends to finish. But yeah, that is the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this helpful. Bye! If you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you bought this pattern, it would be super helpful if you left a positive review. But that's all guys, bye!